Hello, everybody. Okay, Zach, you can go ahead and unmute now. Welcome to Big Ups and NY Rail Fan Productions. Today, I'm just gonna swap cams here really quickly. Today, we are gonna be doing some history on some passenger trains that I have gotten, I downloaded recently. Um, so on the left, we have a D&H passenger train, Illinois Central, Nickel Plate, Union Pacific, Penn Central, and Milwaukee Road. Now, I have looked up some what's it called? I've looked up some history on some of these trains. And before we run them, I'm going to read a little bit of history about them to you because I'm actually learning myself as well. So, we're going to start off with the Delaware and Hudson. So, just a little brief history on the Delaware and Hudson. I'm just going to read a brief history. There were many northeastern railroads which depended greatly on anthracite. Actually, hold on. Just a quick overview. Delaware and Hudson Railroad is our country's oldest surviving transportation company. Has been a corporate entity for 3 different centuries. While the railroad is now split between Canadian Pacific and Norfolk Southern, it technically still exists, albeit it has not operated independently since the early 1980s. The D&H began as a canal operation, the vision of early entrepreneurs to transport anthracite coal from the northeastern Pennsylvania to the metropolis of New York City. Overview. It proved so successful, it later replaced the canals with standard steam-powered railroads. Interestingly, the modern D&H made an abrupt move from its original intentions and shifted its focus into northern outlets. Throughout the latter 19th century, it pieced together a network to achieve its goal, eventually reaching across the Canadian border. As the demand for anthracite declined, it struggled in the post-war years and was eventually purchased by a private investor who later sold the property to Canadian Pacific. In 2019, part of its original main line was purchased by Norfolk Southern, which, as you've seen before, I've rail fanned that line before. Brief history. There were many northeastern railroads that depended greatly on anthracite coal. However, perhaps none of the other was more associated to this natural resource than the Delaware and Hudson. Demand for it grew immensely starting in the early 19th century. A clean burning hard coal it was ideal as an indoor heating source, and its location to major metropolitan cities, for example Philadelphia and New York, meant it could be transported profitably. Exactly how, though, was a tough question. The railroad had not invented, although canals offered promise. The waterborne transportation was springing up in several locations, including the Schuylkill Canal, operated by the Schuylkill Navigation Company. It entered full service in 1825, moving anthracite from Philadelphia from northern coal fields, and unquestionably proved the concept's viability. Viability, yeah. Just want to make sure I pronounced that word right. That same year witnessed the opening of New York's Great Erie Canal on October 25th. The visionaries of the Delaware and Hudson Canal Company were brothers Maurice and William Wirtz. They had acquired tracts of rich anthracite veins in the Carbondale region and at first hoped to serve Philadelphia, their home city. Okay, we're going to skip that. It's just going to talk about canals. We're going to skip to the actual railroad history. Also, because we will only hear about the railroad history, but we're not listening about the canal.
Why?
Because we want to know more about the railroad history. Not, because Zach, I'm a railroad channel. We don't need to hear anything about the canals.
What the fuck is a canal?
It is a water. It's a water line.
Trains
Okay.
can't go on water. The fuck? Yeah,
Okay, it
skip that
started.
shit.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to look for where they started talking about the railroad.
Canadian Pacific owned the D&H until 2019.
So 2015.
You said 2019.
Okay, no,
I
2015.
heard
But
you.
I
I
did
heard you
not
say
say
that.
2019. I said 2015.
I heard 2019.
Okay.
I swear to God, I heard 2019.
Well, no, you heard wrong then.
Well, you read wrong then because I pissing me off. You're funny.
Okay, here we go. This is where it's gonna start talking about railroad. So we're starting about halfway into the article. I know. In response, the D&H decided to employ them on a new section of standard railroad beyond Valley Junction. The 4-mile section reached Providence, near present-day Scranton, and opened in 1860. The company ordered two 4-foot 3-inch gauge locomotives and 040 named Major Sykes in 1872. Oh, this is in parentheses. In 1872, the unit was rebuilt as an 060 and following an accident, and a 440 named CP Works. They were constructed by the W. Cook and Company of Scranton and constitute the first use of steam locomotives on the D&H in revenue service. Interestingly, if the gravity operation had been built as originally designed by John B. Jervis, the company's first chief engineer, it would have utilized steam locomotives right from the start. Hang on. My mouse is giving me problems scrolling down, so sometimes I have to use the clicker. Ah, shit, I went too far.
What's a clicker?
I'm talking about the left click trying to scroll up. Okay.
I don't know what it
Ah, I did it again.
is.
Shut up, Zach. He envisioned four such contraptions to operate the gravity's line's less severe grades. During a trip to England in the summer of 1828 with the help from an associate, um, Horatio Allen, Jervis ordered the quartet and was contracted to Robert Stephenson and Company of Newcastle based on the same plans as the famous O-22 rocket, while three others were built by the Foster Rasting Company of Stourbridge. Stephenson's design was named America. And the first. Ah, come on!
Yeah.
And the first to arrive in the United States unloaded in New York on January 15th, 1829, at a cost of $3,663.30, including delivery. The other three machines from Foster Rastrick and Company crossed the Atlantic a few months later with the famous Stourbridge Lion was delivered on May 13th at a cost at a total cost of $2,914, while the Delaware $2,944 and the Hudson $2,992 arrived later that summer. In a strange turn of events, only the Lion was actually tested by the Delaware and Hudson. Come on.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
So, like in 2015 and before that it would be CP train through here.
Yes. So back before 2015, Zach, which I think we'll get to that history here in a second, Canadian Pacific ran on the D&H line, which is from Enola all the way up north. Yeah, where the Canadian Pacific is now. Because remember, at the beginning of the article, it did say that the D&H did stretch all the way north of the Canadian border. Remember that.
Yeah,
So
I remember you reading something about it shared with Norfolk Southern Canadian Pacific, and I know that
yes.
because
Well, that's because
after Schenectady going to Saratoga, that's CP
that's
property.
CP trackage. Yeah, that's why they're saying it's shared by CP and NS. Okay, let me
I
get back to
know.
reading. The America made a quick demonstration run in New York on May 27th, as did the Lion a day later on May 28th. After wowing onlookers in an event that could be argued as the first ever utilization of steam locomotives on American soil, the duo were shipped up the Hudson to Rondout near Kingston. From there, they were shipped
I don't know
over
where
to
that
the
is.
canal, to Honesdale.
Oh no! Don't start this canal bullshit again.
Well, Zach, you're not listening. Basically, the beginning of the D&H, Zach, was run on a canal. Okay,
Boring.
you got to understand that.
I understand canals are boring and trains are better.
Hang on, I gotta find where. Okay, here we go. That's where I left off.
Uh,
However, the America story is murky beyond this point. The Lion was delivered on July 24th, but has never been proven if the America either made it to Honesdale or was left at Rondout. In a surprising turn of events, what was later discovered to be one of its cylinders was donated to the Smithsonian. It still resides at the institution today. The Delaware and Hudson met a fate similar as America. Neither of the locomotives' whereabouts have ever been ascertained after their shipment to Rondout. Ooh, so those engines went missing. Interesting.
fired.
Interesting, Zach.
Yeah,
So two locomotives went missing.
fired.
In any event, it would not have mattered, as Allen and Jervis had discovered the Lion was too heavy for the gravity railroad during its demonstrations on August 8th, 1829. Official tests carried out that day and have been recognized as the first use of a steam locomotive in the United States. Ooh. Another trial was held on September 9th, confirming the men's initial assessments. The poor locomotive, which had operated very well, was banished to a shed in Honesdale and largely forgotten. Roughly 20 years later, it was dragged out in the boiler utilized by the D&H shops in Carbondale until 1870, when its remains were apparently scrapped. So, wow, they actually scrapped that locomotive. Okay. In 1933, the company's shops in Colony, New York, built an exact replica of
I know where
the
that
or.
is.
Listen, let me read it. I know you know where that is because I'm sure you've been there before. Of an 040 Lion for the Century of Progress's exposition in Chicago. Today, the little machine sits on display in Honesdale, owned by the Wade County Historical Society.
Amtrak goes through Colony. How's that the DNA?
Well, because Zach, you're not. Let me read, because you'll learn. You'll figure that out eventually.
I am
Curiously,
learning
as
things.
Mr.
I wrote this in.
Shaughnessy report notes, despite holding the distinct as operating the first steam locomotives, as was boasting about the longest railroad in the states by the fall of 1829, the D&H was slow to adopt the technology. It did not operate its next locomotive until the Major Stikes and CP Wirtz arrived in 1860. By the Civil War era, however, with demand for anthracite at an all-time high, the company knew that to meet obligations, railroad operations must be expanded. In 1865, the last addition of any kind to its gravity operation was carried out, while it purchased additional coal holdings from Carbondale to Wilkes-Barre. Now, Zach, I'm sure you know where Wilkes-Barre is, right?
Never heard of Wilkes-Barre.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania?
Yep, Pennsylvania. It's basically down near, it's basically close to Harrisburg, kind of. It's kind of close to Harrisburg.
Hey,
These
we should go
included...
to Harrisburg again. We should go to Hershey, Harrisburg again. Remember how fun that was?
Okay, Zach, shut up. Shut up. These included the Howard Coal and Iron Company, the Union Coal Company, Northern Coal and Iron Company, and the Plymouth and Wilkes-Barre Railroad and Bridge Company. At the time, the D&H did not direct authority to operate the railroads, or did not have direct authority to operate the railroads included with these properties. To do so, it formed a subsidiary known as the Northern Coal and Iron Company, a conduit used for many years to oversee its rail operations. Okay, Zach, here we go. The Great Railroad Expansion. In the years after the Civil War, Delaware and Hudson's rail service expanded rapidly. The company and Erie Railway reached an agreement in 1868 to handle coal from the D&H and Carbondale via a branch to Erie's main line at Lanesboro, Susquehanna, Pennsylvania. Now, Zach, let me give you a little history on that, Zach. That line is now owned through Susquehanna, that is now owned by the New York Susquehanna and Western, by the way. Just to give you a little heads up about that. The product would then be shipped west to Buffalo and the Great
It
Lakes.
just cut you out so bad I didn't hear any of that.
Sorry, do you need me to start over at the Great Railroad Expansion?
I don't know. The phone, all of a sudden, it was fine, but all of a sudden it just starts cutting you out so bad.
Okay, so I'll start over. In the years after the Civil War, Delaware and Hudson's rail service expanded rapidly. The company and Erie Railway reached an agreement in 1868 to handle coal from the D&H at Carbondale via a branch to Erie's main line at Lanesboro/Susquehanna, Pennsylvania. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, Zach. Now, where Lanesboro and Susquehanna, PA is, that area is now run by the New York Susquehanna and Western. It's run by NYS&W now. Yep, NYS&W runs through there now. The product would then be shipped west to Buffalo and the Great Lakes. This route was built under the guise of the Jefferson Railroad. It was completed quite quickly, opening on October 8th, 1870, with the D&H granted trackage rights to use the property. In 1955, it purchased the line from Erie, becoming part of its fabled Penn division. And that part was in parentheses. In May of 1867, it received privileges from New York to begin rail construction in that state. This important mandate enabled the D&H to launch rail expansion northward. It quickly pounced on this new opportunity by entering a lease agreement with the Albany and Susquehanna Railroad in February 24th, 1870. The A&S had been chartered in 1851 to construct a 6-foot gauge route from Albany to Binghamton. Ooh. So, Zach, that line right there, Albany to Binghamton, they're talking about the D&H freight line right there.
But that freight line doesn't go to Albany, it goes through to Schenectady.
It kind of goes near Albany. If you think about it.
There's that, isn't it?
Hold on. Hold on. Just let me finish reading. And maybe your question will be answered. Interchanging there with the New York and Erie, later Erie, after several starts and stops, the A&S was completed on January 14th, 1869. Hold on. There's still more reading to be done. Maybe you'll get your question answered. For the time being, D&H coal moved over the Erie from Lanesboro to the A&S at Binghamton. To circumvent the roundabout nature of this route, it drew up plans to build a 27-mile shortcut from Lanesboro to Nineveh, New York, where the coal could move directly across both railroads and thus eliminate the Erie in the process. Ooh, so it sounds like they're going against the Erie. The new line was opened on June 7th, 1872, providing a D&H a direct route from Wilkes-Barre to Albany via Binghamton. In the coming years, a series of acquisitions placed together a main line through northern New York, western Vermont, and finally terminating at Montreal, Quebec. So, Zach, hear that?
Hi.
That
Yeah.
that is the line that stretches north from Mechanicsville and Schenectady.
Yeah.
It is interesting that for a company which had to establish the successful transportation of coal to the southern markets of the D&H decided to expand its rail empire in the opposite direction. There was a very real and understandable point to all this time, of course. It already
I thought
served
we
the
would.
former. Hold on. It already served the former region and was attempting to open new markets for anthracite. Now, before we go on to the next chapter, you have a question?
I have two now.
Okay. Go ahead and ask them. I'll see if I can answer them.
The one I was trying to ask before, what about that line from CSX and at Signal VO in Voorheesville? What is that line that probably opening again?
I don't know. I'm sure that'll be
I
read about.
forgot where it goes to. It goes from Voorheesville from the CSX branch up to Selkirk branch to, and then I forgot.
I believe it goes to Rotterdam Junction, actually. The Pan Am, I believe, is starting to build something on that, I believe.
Yeah, but I
I don't
thought I
know.
heard like 23. They start running 23 or 22K down that line.
I don't know. I think that might be what they're doing. I don't know.
I don't remember. It was a
Okay.
long time ago since I read that.
Yeah. I haven't heard about that project in a while, so. Alright, here we go. In his book, Mr. Shaughnessy thoroughly covers all the Delaware and Hudson's northern expansion, superbly detailing the construction and how these lines joined his network. His title, without question, the authoritative and definitive resource to the company's rich history. For purposes of this article, only a brief summary will be provided highlighting this subject. The 1870s witnessed a quick expansion of the D&H. In 1871, at least, the Rensselaer and Saratoga R&S
Oh, I know what that is.
stretched from the far north via the New York and Canada MY&C, which finally reached Napierville Junction Railway. Napierville Junction Railway.
Oh, did you
The
hear
R.
that?
Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead. You were asking a
Did you
question.
did you hear that 63 and 64 are gonna go back to their original route?
When?
I forgot.
I
I
haven't
think
heard about that. No, I haven't heard about that.
I thought I read somewhere that Amtrak reinstated that 63 and 64 are gonna go back to their original stops before COVID started.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out about that. I'll believe it when I see it, like I always say. All right, back to reading. The R&S formerly leased during May of 1871 comprised the bulk of Delaware and Hudson's central network, running from a connection with the A&S at Albany to Whitehall along the southern tip of Lake Champlain.
I don't know what that is.
You do know where that is?
I've never been to Whitehall, but I know where it is.
Okay. The R&S was originally chartered on April 14th, 1832 to construct a rail line from Troy to Ballston Spa.
I know where that is.
I've heard about it, but I don't know exactly where it is. The first
Okay.
segment opened from Waterford to Ballston Spa on August 18th,
I know that
1835,
too.
while the let me read, please. While the entire line was completed into Troy a month later on October 6th. In the succeeding years, many small systems were added to the R&S network in 1851, at least the Saratoga and Schenectady, connecting its namesake. Can I read, please, without an interruption?
I'm not trying to interrupt you. I know what that is.
Just listen and don't say anything. You're
I've
learning
been
stuff
there.
today.
I've been to Saratoga. I've been to Schenectady.
I don't care.
I know where Boston Spa is.
Connecting its namesake cities
I've
and
been to Rensselaer.
interchanging with the R&S at Boston Spa. The
I know
Albany
where
and
that is.
Vermont Rail, Rutland and Washington and Troy and Rutland were a series of small railroads that eventually opened between Albany and Rutland via Salem and Eagle Bridge, even though they were not particularly successful. In 1865, R&S interest acquired all three, renaming the lot as the Troy, Salem, and Rutland. These properties were largely responsible for forming the D&H's inside route between Rutland and Albany. Its western corridor to Whitehall and an eastern extension towards Rutland was constructed by the Saratoga and Washington, chartered in 1834 to build from Saratoga Springs to Whitehall. The entire line opened on December 10th, 1848. In 1850, it completed a short branch east of Whitehall to the Rutland and Whitehall, which extended further east to a connection with the Rutland and Washington at Castleton. The Rutland and Whitehall was soon leased by the R&S, and all properties involved were leased by the Rensselaer and Saratoga in 1865, right at the end of the Civil War. Here we go. This is the one I've been looking for, the passenger train section.
Oh yeah, that was another question I wanted to ask, but you could tell me now. Why
Okay,
are
hold
we
on.
your point of doing this was to read about the passenger, but so far this
And the
whole thing you've been
history,
reading,
and the
they're talking
history.
about coal and shit.
Well, I'm reading the whole thing. The railroad never had a significant or large passenger fleet, obviously due to its small size. However, it did have a few notable trains, including the Montreal Limited and Laurentian, the latter of which was its best known. The Montreal Limited provided an overnight service between New York City and Montreal, courtesy of help from the New York Central, while the Laurentian provided daytime connections through upstate New York and across the Great Lakes region. Perhaps most interesting is that these trains grew in popularity following the arrival of new President Frederick Dumaine in 1967. Dumaine was a big proponent of passenger service, upgrading the fleet with newer second-hand equipment. He purchased four former Santa Fe Alco PA1s, which those ones are known as shark nose engines, keeping with the basic outline of their former war bonnet scheme. With the locomotives were a splendid eye-catching blue and yellow and silver livery, which is what I have on my train now. These were originally built as number 59, number 60, number 62, and number 66 for the Santa Fe and became 16 through 19 on the Delaware and Hudson. In 1975, the D&H had the locomotives overhauled by Morris and Knudsen, upgrading 2,400 horsepower, model 251F prime movers. The quartet was later sold to Mexico in 2002, with the shells at 59L and 62-L were returned to the States for restoration. The former is undergoing work by the Museum of the American Railroad in Frisco, Texas, to return to its originally look, and the later was nearly operational as Nickel Plate Road number 190. Curiously, while both trains were axed by Amtrak following its startup on May 1st, 1971, a push by the Delaware and Hudson in the state of New York actually worked on reviving the New York-Montreal run as the Adirondack, which still operates today. There you go, Zach. There you go, Zach.
What?
The route is now run by the Amtrak Adirondack. If you didn't hear that,
That doesn't run anymore, if you know.
yes, it does.
No,
It's
it
right now.
doesn't.
It's not running right now because of COVID. That's why.
No shit.
But it still runs. It's just not running
No,
right
it
now.
doesn't.
No, it still is an active service, but it doesn't run right now. But it is still an active service on Amtrak.
Okay, it's an active service, but it's not actually running.
Yes, it's not running. Okay. So that's where we're going to stop. Because now we learned about that. All right, new article.
And we're
Now
just
we're going
settled.
into the Illinois Central.
Oh boy.
Okay, we're going to start with history of the Illinois Central Railroad. Illinois Central Railroad was dated from 1851 when it was chartered by its home state to build a line from Cairo, Illinois to the southern tip to the confluence of the Ohio and Mississippi rivers to Galena from the northwestern corner of the state, and at the time a mining center. Soon added was the Chicago branch from Centralia, named for the railroad, northeast to the growing city on the Lake Michigan shore. The branch would soon become the railroad's principal route. After its 19th century growth, the Illinois Central had a stable system until its 1972 merger with the Gulf Mobile in Ohio to form the Illinois Central Gulf. Now,
1073.
shut up.
What?
I'm looking for the
What?
passenger operations.
What? Illinois Central 1073.
No, Illinois Central was not 1073.
Yes, it is.
No, Zach, Illinois Central. You're probably thinking of Illinois Terminal. Illinois Central was not part of the NS system.
Fuck you.
I'm serious.
I'm sorry, okay?
Hang on, I'm trying to find.
Don't.
Okay, this one does not talk about. It's not talking about anything with passenger. This one does not talk about passenger service.
Next.
Hold on, I'm scanning the article. Hold on, I'm scanning the article.
Is it going to talk about canals
No, Zach.
and that bullshit? Look, hey, people, who wants to learn about boring fucking canals?
Zach, shut up.
We're boring fucking boats. Because they're fucking boring. I like trains.
Okay, I'm gonna go back.
Fuck. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. I thought we were gonna run these, not read.
Well, we're gonna run them too. Don't worry.
I burped.
After I'm done reading about the history, I'm going to read. After I'm done reading about it, we're gonna run the train.
I burped.
Okay, here we go. I found a timetable that might talk about the Illinois Central Pasture train.
Special.
Here we go. The Illinois Central began to operate lightweight, modern, air-conditioned diesel pasture trains. Oh wow, this is just an article. This is just a newspaper article. More than 10 years ago, when it put into service its Green Diamond between Chicago and St. Louis, this was followed by the city of Miami and by the Panama Limited, both a beautifully appointed, recently modern trains. Let me see when these are dated. Let me just see when these are dated. Trying to see when these were dated. It's not talking about when it was dated. Oh well.
I know when it was dated.
When?
Old as fuck.
Shut up. Recently, the Illinois Central has... Okay, hang on. The Chicago and St. Louis, followed by the city of Miami, and by the Panama Limited, both beautifully appointed. thoroughly modern trains. Recently, the Illinois Central has added the city of New Orleans between Chicago and New Orleans, and by the land of corn between Chicago and Waterloo. By fall, it will have two other new modern streamlined trains between Chicago and St. Louis, the Daylight and the Green Diamond. For performance, okay, so this is a lot to read. So basically, what it's talking about, guys, is it's talking about basically when the train started. Um, it 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 hauled it went all it basically did Illinois and other and the mid it basically covered the Midwest. Basically, the passenger trains
Mm.
did. Passenger trains basically covered the Midwest. Um, and then it has a lot of different things. Has timetables, the different cars it has, and yeah. Okay.
Passenger cars.
Okay. We are now moving on
Oh,
to the Penn Central.
Penn Central. 1070. No, wait.
That one's 10. I believe that one's actually 1073, Zach, is the Penn Central. Between 1968. Okay, hold on.
Fuck it.
Okay, so. Here we go. So, this article is titled The Short Trouble Life of Penn Central Passenger Trains. February 1st, 2018 marked the 50th anniversary of the merger of two eastern U.S. railroads, the Pennsylvania Railroad and the New York Central, to form the Penn Central Transportation Company. And this is in quotes, call us Penn Central, urged the ads. Even today, the more mere mention of the name can arouse passions among those who worked for or patronized that railroad during its existence from 1968 to 1976. In this article, we will concentrate on Penn Central's passenger service, intercity, and commuter, bearing in mind that this is just one aspect of the company's problematic story, which was most of which has been discussed at length elsewhere. The Penn Central merger was the only one of several that were begotten during the 1960s. Among these were the Norfolk and Western Nickel Plate Wabash amalgamation, the Baltimore and Ohio Chesapeake Ohio consolidation, and the Atlantic Coast and Seaboard Airline merger. In these cases, there was a more profitable partner, or the partners had not completely directly. ACL and SAL, for example, served many common markets, albeit over different routes apart and from its sheer size. Penn Central would fail on these points, and it had other shortcomings as well. As early as 1962, James Signs, an old Pensy hand, was championing the New York Central PRR merger, the NYC PRR merger, as both boards of directors had formally made the merger's request. It appears that the New York Central was less enthusiastic, thinking that it had been frozen out of more desirable matches. As Penn Central's organization structure was finalized, many promising managers jumped ship. Although New York Central's practices were more highly regarded by many in the industry, it became clear that Pensy would prevail and become the dominant partner, electing a majority of the board and two of the three's most senior executives. Chairman Stuart T. Saunders was an attorney and brought over from Norfolk and Western to expedite the merger, and David C. Bevan,
611.
chairman of Penn Central's Finance Committee, was a former banker. Former New York Central came President Alfred E. Perlman, who had a wealth of railroad
New York
experience.
Central.
Hang on, Zach. I just talk about the merger right now.
1066.
No.
New York Central. It's
No.
somebody. Say-
Shut up. Let me just read, please. In the 6 years leading up to the Penn Central merger, it appears that opportunities to shut up to effect a seamless transition were squandered. For as time passed, the financial health of the two railroads continued to decline. Nevertheless, it appeared that every union, government agency, regulator, shipper, and the stockholders demanded and frequently received concessions that would make a successful outcome less likely. In a final result, regulators were extorted a requirement for Penn Central to take on an even more financially weak partner, the bankrupt New York, New Haven, and Hartford, effective January 1st, 1969. Adding the Penn Central's litany of problems. What? And here's the question. Here's a funny question. What were they thinking? Penn Central's managers believed that the passenger service west of both Buffalo, New York, and Harrisburg, PA, were financially hopeless cases. Most surviving trains offered no amenities or provided minimal food service from snack bars. East to west service. Ah! New York Central's passenger train rationalization had been completed as of 1968 and included a train between the East and Chicago, and that included a baggage dorm, twin unit diner, kitchen lounge, sleeper and a sleeper coach, and a sleeper from Boston to Chicago. With Zach, can you guess what train that is now?
What?
The train the train that I just read that runs from Boston to Chicago. Guess what train that
Boston,
probably is
Chicago.
now?
The Late Shore Limited.
The Lakeshore Limited.
Late Shore Limited.
A sleeper and from New York to Chicago via Detroit soon cut the New York to Detroit. A sleeper to Toronto and a sleeper coach from New York to Detroit. Dining cars were to be carried between Buffalo and Chicago and between Boston and Albany. A second train between New York and Chicago would carry a sleeper coach to Buffalo and a sleeper to Cleveland. This train would continue to Chicago in daylight with a diner lounge. Thus, lots of overnight switching was needed, particularly in Buffalo. The James Whitcomb rally between Chicago and Cincinnati and an afternoon train each way between Chicago and Detroit retained full dining service. On the Pennsy side, west of Harrisburg, there were 5 trains to choose from. The best surviving train was the Broadway Limited, which had recently acquired the coaches and a coach lounge purchased from the Rio Grande Railroad from the General, which had been discontinued at the end of 1967. 4 sleepers offered the usual roomettes and bedrooms, but also duplex single rooms from compartments and drawing rooms, as well as a twin unit diner, which all still made for a decent train. Two trains linking New York with St. Louis and the Spirit of St. Louis and the Penn, Texas, ran within 3 hours of each other between the two trains. Diners ran either to St. Louis or Indianapolis, and each train carried sleepers to Indianapolis and St. Louis. One train carried a bedroom lounge to Indianapolis and a sleeper to Cincinnati via connection from Columbus. Another sleeper ran from Chicago to Washington via a connection from Harrisburg. A snack bar coach ran from Washington to Harrisburg. An additional sleeper ran west of the Broadway, but returned on a train overnight to Pittsburgh as a daytime run to New York. Oh shit, I accidentally minimized it. Okay, let me see where I left off.
This is some bullshit.
Okay, there were two New York Pittsburgh sleepers, including duplex single rooms. On alternate days, the south wind linked Chicago with Florida over the Penn Seas to Louisville. Sleepers, a diner, and a coach lounge were operated with additional cars in the busier winter season. Empire Service. Zach, does that sound familiar to you?
What?
Empire Service.
281, 284, 280, 283.
Okay. Turning again to the former New York Central. Its service between Grand Central Terminal Albany and Buffalo had only recently been organized as the Empire Service, a series of short regular trains on memory schedules. It had made up of refurbished cars, including 40 coaches and 11 snack bar coaches.
40.
Well, each of the train ran with a certain amount, but the 40 coaches and 11 snack bar coaches were all separated on different trains, bud. We'll get to that in a second. Until all the latter were ready, bedroom parlor lounges and a tavern lounges substituted. Apart from two previously mentioned trains that carried cars from beyond Buffalo, seven trains were scheduled. These include one train between Albany and Buffalo, three trains between New York and Buffalo, and three between New York and Albany. Day and night service was provided to Montreal via the Delaware and Hudson north of Albany. Through cars on the day train included a coach. Hang on, I gotta scroll down again. Included a coach and a tavern lounge in which lounge seats were sold as parlor seats. The night train carried coaches 1 or 2, 10 and 6 sleepers, 10 roomettes, 6 double bedroom, and a bedroom lounge car serving refreshments and a buffet breakfast. Ooh, I would have loved to have been alive back then. What would become known as the Northeast Corridor still provided through service between Washington, New York City, and Boston, however, over Penn Central's 3 component railroads. Sun and sand connections. Soon after merger day, Chesapeake and Ohio's through service to and from cities served by Penn Central was reduced to seasonal run trains from the Greenbrier and Homestead resorts at White Sulphur Springs and Hot Springs, Virginia, respectively. Southern Railway operated 2 connecting trains with Penn Central, offering coaches and sleepers from points as far as New Orleans. A through diner was operated between New York City and Atlanta on the Crescent to offer proper meal service for breakfast and dinner. Seaboard Coastline operated 2 through trains in conjunction with Penn Central to and from Florida, the Champion and the Silver Meteor. Peak winter service added the Florida Special and Silver Star. The Star ran year-round, but with shorter off-season constants was conveyed between New York and Washington as part of a regularly scheduled Penn Central train. A summer weekend Champion ran south to Jacksonville, Florida. Penn Central carried through cars for Seaboard Coastline Silver Comet to Burlington, Alabama, a Palmland and Gulf Coast special serving the Carolinas and Florida. Penn Central's corridor service. As Al Jolson said, you ain't seen nothing yet, because we now turn to the Washington to Boston corridor. Then as now, Penn Central and Amtrak's busiest intercity route. In 1968, the Metro liners, which, Zach, I'll show you a picture of a Metro liner if you haven't seen one yet. All right, Zach, here you go. Right here is a Metro liner right here, Zach, in this picture. Do you see it? Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure you saw it. Okay. The Metroliners were still in the midst of a long commissioning process, so 9 Washington to New York and 4 Washington to Boston trains ran on roughly a 90-minute frequency. Several local trains linked Philadelphia and Washington, augmented by the famous clockers leaving New York and Philadelphia on the hour. Shit. Shut up.
Sick.
Okay. Several additional frequencies service intermediate stations, and one of these was the longest scheduled train, all coaches except for a mid-train refreshment car. The Penn had a number of these cars, and they all ran on North Jersey coast and special trains. Dining cars, with their high labor and supply costs, were an obvious target for savings. In 1967, 10 modern parlor cars had been equipped to serve airline-style meals to the first-class PRR passengers. The conventional diners remained until April of 1968, but were discontinued by Penn Central, replaced by parlor club cars. Coach passengers were continued to be served in snack bar coaches. Diners were retained on Boston to Washington trains and to New York to Washington, and 2 New York to Washington round trips, which were scheduled to run to Boston on certain days. In 1969, 6 more parlor cars were converted to parlor clubs, and additional coaches were converted into snack bars. Thereafter, the Senator became the last corridor train with a diner or grill car, usually former New Haven cars. Staffed by waitresses, New Haven's popular grill diners were set up so that you sat on a bench seat with your back to the window, facing across the aisle to the tables and windows on the opposite side. The Senator's 2 train sets were assigned a New Haven baggage car and baggage lounge and parlor car. Come on. The Clockers still offered parlor service in a variety of car types, many of which Penn Central took steps to replace, however retaining the 4 blunt-ended parlor observations built by Budd in 1952 for the Congressional and Senator. 2 pre-war NYC parlors were taken out of storage, though refurbished. Some passengers complained about their glorified lounge seating, which was later converted by Amtrak to coach seating. Two Pensy bedroom lounges were redesignated and renumbered as parlor cars. These were supplemented by 2 coach bar lounge cars from the South Wind, and parlor chairs replaced coach seating, and they were named the John Adams and Thomas Jeffersons, number 7174 and number 7175. Finally, 6 New Haven lounge cars, previously rebuilt with 3 drawing rooms for premium day use, exchanged their lounge seats for 19 single parlor chairs, were renumbered 7176 to 7181. Now I'm going to see. Okay. The best of the former Penn coaches included about 90 cars, either built new or rebuilt from sleepers, with a smoking lounge area, as well as 13 matching snack bar coaches. Additional streamlined coaches were available if needed, as well as P-70 coaches rebuilt between 1948 and 1952, which received new trucks, air conditioning, and high back walkover seats. These were fine riding cars, perfectly adequate for the corridor service. Close to 80 still remain, and another 30 examples received reclining seats and or snack bars. 94 long-distance coaches built by Altoona and ACF had proven to be a major disappointment and were well on the way out. Initially, few cars were exchanged between their previous owners' territory, but New York Central contributed diners, lounges, while Pennsylvania Railroad provided sleepers. Only a few Penn Central cars were assigned to SCL or Southern Railway trains out of New York City. And these tended to be sleepers, which were presumably had been maintained to a higher standard. The Southwind, however, used a number of Pennsylvania cars. Additionally, hundreds of former PRX-29 boxcars, older NYC baggage cars, former troop sleepers, still in the fleet, were no longer needed with the transfer of bulk mail to the dedicated trains and the evaporation of express business. And that's it. So there is the history of the Penn Central passenger train operations. Next up, we are going to read about the Nickel Plate Road passenger trains now.
Joy.
Wait, this is actually a short article. This is not even a history thing. Okay, here we go. This is the passenger train called the Nickel Plate Limited, later known as the City of Cleveland and City of Chicago, was a passenger night train operated by the New York, Chicago, and St. Louis Railroad, Nickel Plate, between Chicago, Buffalo, New York, and via Cleveland, Ohio, with the service to Hoboken, New Jersey, for New York City, via Binghamton, Scranton, the Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western Railroad for the Buffalo Hoboken segment. The Nickel Plate bestowed the name Nickel Plate Limited on an existing unnamed Chicago to New York service in April of 1929. It was first named the Nickel Plate Train since 1906. The Nickel Plate also added Pullman Club cars and sleepers to compete with the New York Central Railroad service, such as the Forest City, over the same route. The Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western's New York Mail handled eastbound through cars between Buffalo and New York, while the Phoebe Snow, before 1949, the Lackawanna Limited, handled cars westbound. And into the train's later years, it would offer the range of sleeper accommodations for the open sections to the modern roomettes to a drawing room. The Nickel Plate trains would link the Delaware Lackawanna's trains at the Lackawanna station in Buffalo. Let's see, is there more reading to this? No, there's not. After this paragraph, it's done. In 1954, the Nickel Plate remade the train. The westbound train became the city of Chicago, while the eastbound train became the city of Cleveland. Through service to Hoboken ended in 1959, both trains survived the Nickel Plate itself. Service ended in September 10th, 1965, a year after Nickel Plate's 1964 merger with the Norfolk and Western Railway. They were the final remnants of Nickel Plate's passenger service. Next one. Okay, Zach. Now this is going to be this is going to be a little bit longer. This is now the Union Pacific train called the City of Los Angeles. The city of Los Angeles was a streamlined passenger train between Chicago, Illinois, and Los Angeles, California, via Omaha, Nebraska, and Ogden, Utah. Between Omaha and Los Angeles, it ran on the Union Pacific Railroad. East of Omaha, it ran on the east of Omaha. It ran on the Chicago and Northwestern Railway until October 1955, when on the Milwaukee Road thereafter. The train had numbers 103 westbound and 104 eastbound. This was the top of the line for UP, which marketed as a competitor to the Super Chief, a streamlined passenger train on the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railway, and the Golden State, a streamlined passenger train jointly run by the Rock Island and Southern Pacific Railroads. Many of the train's cars bore the names of locales and in and around its namesake city. Okay. Next history. City of Los Angeles service began in May of 1936 using diesel-powered custom Streamliner M10002. It was the second of Union Pacific's diesel streamliners to the West Coast, following the city of Portland that started service nearly a year later. Initial service consisted of 5 runs monthly. CN/UP replaced the set with 14-unit full-sized train pulled by 3-unit set of an EMC E2 locomotives in December of 1937. Service frequency was doubled in July of 1938 with the former City of San Francisco Streamliner M10004. That set was replaced in March of 1939 with a full-size train pulled by 2-unit EMC E3 locomotive set. After World War II, service was expanded, and with additional trains until daily service was achieved in 1947. The UP scored public relations coup in the mid-1950s when the city of Los Angeles was featured in 2 episodes of the popular television series I Love Lucy. Starting in 1955, the Milwaukee road tracks were used in place of the Chicago and Northwestern between Chicago and Omaha. Actor Ronald Reagan often traveled on this train and even did a full-page print ad for it that appeared in the National Geographic magazine. In a cost-cutting move, the city of Los Angeles was combined with the city of San Francisco in 1960. The city of Los Angeles service was terminated after Amtrak took over Union Pacific's passenger rail services on May 1st, 1971. Amtrak operated several excursion services on the Los Angeles-Las Vegas segment from 1972 and 1976, and ending with the short-lived Las Vegas Limited. From 1979 to 1997, Amtrak operated the Salt Lake City to Los Angeles, Ogden to Los Angeles until 1983. Desert Wind, which it connected with Oakland to Chicago, California Zephyr at its northern end, once again offering Chicago to Los Angeles through service. So that's all we needed, was just the history of the train. Alright. See if there's any more reading. Nothing really. Okay. Last but not least, the Milwaukee Road Hiawatha. The Hiawathas were a fleet of named passenger trains operated by the Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Paul and Pacific Railroad, also known as the Milwaukee Road, between Chicago and various destinations in the Midwest and the western United States. The most notable of these trains was the original Twin Cities Hiawatha, which served the Twin Cities in Minnesota. The train was named from the epic poem The Song of Hiawatha by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Okay, now we're moving into the history. The first Hiawatha trains ran in 1935. By 1948, five routes carried the Hiawatha name. The Twin Cities Hiawatha, the main line route from Chicago through Milwaukee to St. Paul and Minneapolis, in the morning and afternoon editions. The Northwoods Hiawatha, a spur route off of the Chicago to Minnesota main line, leading from New Lisbon to Minocqua, Wisconsin. The Chippewa Hiawatha connected Chicago to Ontonagon in Michigan's Upper Peninsula via Milwaukee and Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Midwest Hiawatha used Milwaukee Road's main line across Illinois and Iowa to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and Omaha, Nebraska. The train split into two parts in Manila, Iowa. Last one, the Olympian Hiawatha, which traversed the Milwaukee's main line from Chicago, Twin Cities, Seattle to Tacoma. All right. Zach, you still there? Zach?
Who?
Okay, just making sure you were still there.
No.
Okay, Zach, now we're going to learn about the 5 different Hiawatha trains.
I can't.
Okay. Starting with the Twin Cities Hiawatha. The Twin Cities Hiawatha was the original Hiawatha beginning service between Chicago and the Twin Cities on May 29th, 1935. The Hiawatha used style streamlined Class A442 steam locomotives built by the American Locomotive Company and was intended to compete directly with the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad's Burlington Route, Twin Cities Zephyrs, and the Chicago and Northwestern Railway's Twin Cities 400. The Milwaukee Road added a second train to the route in January 21st, 1939, and the two trains were known as the Morning Hiawatha and Afternoon Hiawatha. Although the brand Twin Cities Hiawatha was often employed. In 1947 to 1948, the Milwaukee Road again re-equipped its major passenger routes with a new lightweight equipment. The Morning Hiawatha trains 5 and 6, and the Afternoon Hiawatha trains 3 and 2, continued to operate between Chicago and Minneapolis until the latter train was discontinued on January 23, 1970. The last runs of the Morning Hiawatha were on April 3, 1971, immediately prior to the introduction of Amtrak. Now, next one, the Midwest Hiawatha. With the delivery of the 1938 train sets, the original 1935 Hiawatha equipment was reassigned to the Chicago, Omaha, Sioux City route, where it ran as the Midwest Hiawatha. The service began on December 11, 1940. The final trip for the Midwest Hiawatha from all terminals occurred on October 29, 1955. On the next day, on 29th, 1955. On the next day, October 30th, 1955, the Milwaukee Road assumed operation of the Union Pacific Railroad's City of San Francisco, City of Los Angeles, City of Denver, and City of Portland, and the Challenger trains. The Midwest Hiawatha became the two South Falls Chicago coaches that combined with the Challenger in Manila. The Milwaukee Road dropped the name altogether in April of 1956. Well, this one's kind of short. Northwoods Hiawatha. The Northwoods Hiawatha began in June of 1936, branching off from the main Hiawatha route in New Lisbon, Wisconsin to serve Minocqua, Wisconsin. The Milwaukee Road dropped the Hiawatha moniker in 1956 and discontinued the service altogether in 1970. Olympian Hiawatha. A new long-distance Hiawatha, the Olympian Hiawatha, from Chicago to the Pacific Northwest, was inaugurated in 1947. The sleeper cars and skytop sleepers were not delivered until late 1948 and early 1949, so the train ran with Pullman heavyweights on the rear end until delivery of the new cars. The train was designed by the famous designer Brooks Stevens of Milwaukee. 6 Crete Series 8-bedroom skytop sleepers were created, which had more windows and more bulbous rear end than their Rapid Series parlor skytop counterparts on the morning Hiawatha and the afternoon Hiawatha. The train ceased operations in May 22, 1961, and the surplus equipment was sold to Canadian National Railways. One car, number 15 Crawford Keek, from the Olympian Hiawatha is undergoing restoration. Final train. The Chippewa Hiawatha began in May of 1937, running through Milwaukee's and Green Bay to Channing, Michigan, later extended to Ontonagon. It carried the Hiawatha moniker between 1948 and 1957 and was discontinued in 1960. Okay. There has been the history of all of the railroads that are seen on this section under the name under all the railroads. So, there's your history lesson for today on passenger operations.
Read it again.
No,
Why?
because now we're getting into the running the trains.
No, read it all again.
No,
Everything. Do it.
no.
You have to.
Let's see how long we've been streaming for. We have been streaming. I've been reading history for about, hang on, see if it'll show. For about an hour and 18 minutes, we read nothing but history. Now we're going to get into the running of each train.
No, read again.
No!
Yes.
No.
Read it all again.
No.
This time read about the shitty clouds as you do it.
No, Zach.
Do it.
Okay.
Please.
No.
Why?
Now we're going to go into quick drive, save.
You're mean.
No, Zach, shut up. Create. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now. Now we're going to go into running the trains.
We can't. You have to read again.
No, I do not.
Please.
No.
Why?
Okay. First train we're going to run out of the bunch is going to be the Delaware and Hudson train. We're going to run it nice and slow out of the yard, not to damage the beautiful equipment.
Don't derail.
Shut up, Zach.
Don't go past the red signal.
Zach, shut up.
Don't speed.
Zach, can you please just shut up and let me do my running, please?
But trains don't have legs.
Zach, shut up.
Why?
So guys, the engines running today's D&H train are the ones you heard about, the PA-1, also known as shark noses. Next train coming out of the yard after this train clears out will be the Illinois Central train.
Is this Rosie Yard?
Huh?
Is this Rosie Yard?
No, this is on a CSX line. I just chose a random line to run the trains on. Alright, now we're gonna pull this train out now. Oh shoot, nope, there we go.
What line is this?
No, this is called the Csx Shenandoah Subdivision, made by my buddy Matt.
The pussy line.
The next train we're gonna pull out is the nickel plate train, pulled by nickel plate 765, the famous steam engine that still runs today.
Where does that run?
Well, nickel plate 765 goes all over the place, and right now it is currently at the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railway, which is near the asshole Mark. So Mark is probably doing his foamer stuff and chasing it, because he always has to go over after every single special train, even though he's already seen it. So that's a foamer for you.
Am I a foamer?
No.
Why?
Because you don't go after every single one, even though you've already seen it. You just randomly catch them.
I see I-003, I-4, 281, 284, 63. I almost see them every day, so isn't that a foamer?
Well, no, I'm talking about special movements, Zach. The special ones, like the heritage units and all that. All right, here we go.
Will the nickel plate ever come to this system?
Huh?
Will the nickel plate ever come to this formation?
It did one time, but it hasn't been over here since.
When was that?
Back a couple years ago, like back when I was still in school, probably like when my dad was still alive, probably 2013, 2014 probably. And I really badly wanted to see it, but I was never able to get out for it because it came while I was in school. So I was not too happy about that. Okay. Next train to pull out is the Union Pacific City of Los Angeles train.
Sorry, I said that again. I was busy. What you say about?
I said next train to come out is the Union Pacific City of Los Angeles.
No, when you were talking about, I heard you end up with, I was pissed off.
Well, the train, the nickel plate 765 came to town while I was in school. And I was not too happy about that because I never got to see it because of school.
I like school.
School sucks.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
I like school.
All right, there goes the Union Pacific City of Los Angeles.
I don't know anymore if I still like school, but I don't 100% know if I want to be back in it or not because some
school
of the
sucks.
because some of the trains I've been seeing, I want to be able to see if I'm successful, you know.
Oh yeah, I forgot to blow the horn for the City of Los Angeles. Here's the City of Los Angeles' horn. There's the horn for him. Now, next up is a Penn Central passenger train. One of them, at least. I'm not too sure which one, but this is going to be the Penn Central passenger train, next one that comes out.
You and Antonio made it.
Huh?
Good. You and Antonio made it good for the first time.
What? Wait, for what?
For I graduated in 2019, and then when school, and then we went through the summer, and then it came back to school time. Ryan and Rachel were getting on the bus, and I was stuck here knowing I can't go to school. But then you and Antonio came, and we chased the carnival train.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was when you were fresh out of graduation.
That's the point of my whole fucking story right now.
Here is the end car for the city of Los Angeles. As you see it right here, Dome Liner, City of Los Angeles. Okay.
Josh,
What?
full throttle.
No, because if I go full throttle, it's going to crash my game for some odd reason.
Too bad.
Next train out is the Penn Central Pasture train with a F7 ABBA consist.
AKA full throttle. Is it right?
And last but certainly not least, next up, the Milwaukee Roads Hiawatha. Now we're going to go follow these trains down the line.
Are we?
Yep, we're going to follow all the trains down the line now. Starting out, we're going to wait right here while we wait for the D&H train.
What do you mean right here? Isn't this where it was before?
Nope, we're just down the line a little bit now.
You can't.
Here comes the D&H train. Actually, we're gonna start speeding them up now that we're out of the yard. We're gonna take them up to 70% throttle, which gets us up in like 30. Gets them up into like the 30 mph ranges.
Full throttle.
Takes a steam engine a little bit to get up to gauge speed. Okay, all trains are now going 38 miles per hour down the line. There we go. There's a triple track running right here, all the way till up here, where it stops the triple track running, all the way up past here. Oh man, the triple track running is for a while. Oh nope, we're coming into a small yard now. Okay. Alright, now we're going to jump ahead of the trains a little bit. And we're going to wait for them at a crossing here. We're going to wait for them at this crossing right here. Alright. We're going to wait for all the trains to pass through. Alright. Now guys, I do have other trains on here, but for right now we're just running the these historic trains because he's up to 39 now. Shoot, he's up to 39 now. And here comes the train. Right now we're just waiting for the gates to go down. Where you going? Okay, have fun. See you in a little bit. Are the gates gonna stay down? Nope, I guess not. Alright, we're gonna get each train going over the crossing with the whistle and horn blows. So, Zach. Zach?
What?
Okay, I just want to make sure you were still there. Chrissy, Toby, come here, babies. Keep this away from you guys. Oh, baby. Oh, Chrissy. Alright, guys, I kind of hate this horn that's going to be being sounded here in a second. It's just a default horn that I'm used to. This one has the same horn as well, I believe. Yep. Shut up. My train does not run on your time. Shut up! There, go across. You happy? Oh, sure, I didn't realize there was another crossing down here. Because I haven't traveled on this full route yet. Catching up to the head end of our other trains here. Catching up to our other trains. All right. All right. Crispy. Here, we're gonna get a nice shot here. I want to get a shot right here of all of our trains going over this bridge. Chrissy, come here, baby. Come here, baby. Oh, Chrissy and Toby. Hi, babies. Sorry, I'm talking to my dogs, guys.
Gross.
I said dogs. Zach, shut up. Oh, baby. Oh, Chrissy. Zach, you know my 2 dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know Chrissy and Toby. You met them that one day when I brought you over here for lunch. When it was very hot. We sat down here in the basement and ate lunch.
Hot, you pussy.
It was hot. Who said that?
Who said what?
What did Ryan say?
Nothing.
No, he said something.
No.
Yes.
How do you know?
Because I heard him. I just don't know what he said.
No.
Say what he said.
He didn't say anything.
He did. Don't lie.
Okay, he did. He said this.
He said what?
This.
I can't see anything. Your camera's not on.
I don't care. Not my problem.
It is your problem, actually, sir.
It's not, sir.
It is, though.
It's that, though.
Crispy cream. Don't be torts.
Stop talking like a sick pervert.
I'm talking to my dogs. Shut up. I'm not talking like a sick pervert.
It doesn't give you the right to talk like a pervert.
I'm not talking like a pervert. Shut up.
Yes, you are, baby.
Oh, crispy cream.
See, you're doing it right now.
Shut up!
Stop.
I will talk how I want, you bitch.
You can't.
I can. I can and am.
You can't and not.
I can and am.
You want Taco Bell.
I do want Taco Bell, actually.
Well, I'm not. You're not getting it.
Oh, yeah? Well, guess what? You owe me a Taco Bell run, sir.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I would.
Because the time hold on. You said the next time I came to Schenectady, you would take me to Taco Bell. But no, your dad decided to order Subway. So you owe me a Taco Bell run, sir.
That's not my fault. That told
Still, you owe me a Taco Bell run, sir. Still, you still owe me a Taco Bell run.
No, we would have gone if Dad didn't order.
Okay, but still, that doesn't mean anything. You still owe me a Taco Bell run, sir. And Rich, hold on. And Rich already agreed that when I come over to go to the NASCAR race, he's going to take me to Taco Bell.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. Because I already told him you owe me a Taco Bell run.
You just said the next time I come up to Schenectady. That doesn't mean.
No, the next time I came to Schenectady. All right, next train is the Illinois Central train. There goes the Delaware and Hudson. And excuse all of the bickering between me and asshole Zach over here.
He started it.
You started it.
You started it.
Do I need to go back into the stream and look?
I'm gonna go to 6 fucking flags.
6 fucking flags? 6 fucking flags?
6 fucking flags.
Oh yeah. It's funny.
I'm gonna go see a train.
I want to go to a water park actually, so I can go swimming.
Boring.
No, so I can go swimming.
Boring.
Swimming is not boring. Oh yeah, then why do you do it every summer?
Because
boom.
Nobody will take me to 6 fucking flags.
No 6 fucking flags for you, sir. Well, here comes the nickel plate train. I can hear the chuffing of the steam engines.
I asked Brian if we can go to 6 flags, and he said, yeah, no problem.
All right, Zach, here comes the nickel plate train if you're watching.
I have AIDS.
Huh?
I got AIDS.
You got AIDS?
Yeah.
What? You do not have AIDS.
Yes.
Do you know that AIDS is a sexually transmitted disease, right?
No, AIDS are a grown-ass adult follows your ass around in school.
That is a different kind of AIDS, but I'm talking about AIDS. AIDS can also be a AIDS is also a disease.
AIDS.
AIDS is also a disease, Zach.
The school has AIDS in every hallway.
Okay, but still, that one is spelled differently. This AIDS, the one that's a disease, is spelled AIDS. The AIDS that you're talking. Let me finish. The AIDS that you're talking about is spelled AIDS.
I only said AIDS. How do you know which one I'm talking about?
I'm just telling you that AIDS is also a sexually transmitted disease. Not like anybody on my stream
AIDS.
needs to know that.
Doesn't mean what AIDS I'm talking about.
Not like anyone needs to hear that.
What?
Shut up. Just never mind.
No, no one needed to hear that, but no, you gotta open your mouth and explain it.
Well, hey, I was asking you a question if you knew it. So.
Hey, you had the same explanation. So I'm sorry. I think he has AIDS.
I do not have AIDS. I'm just pretending not to hear Zach.
Yeah,
I do not have AIDS. Shut up. Shut up. All right, guys, here comes the Milwaukee road train.
He doesn't want to admit it.
Zach, let me ask you a question. How can I get AIDS? Hold on. How can I get AIDS when I've never had sex in my lifetime?
I don't need to know this information.
Are you too embarrassed with your condition?
Ryan, shut up! Ryan, next time I see you, I'm going to beat your ass.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
Oh, yeah, come here and do it.
I don't have a ride over there right now.
Who said you would need a ride? Walk.
I am not going to walk.
You need
because,
to walk.
No, listen, you don't even know why I don't want to walk right now. It's because I hurt my back a few days ago. No, it's because I hurt my back I pulled a muscle in my back a few days ago. What?
You want what? Smitty?
No, I don't even know how I did it. I don't even remember how I did it. All I know is I was picking up to grab. All I know is that I was bending down to grab something, and when I stood back up, that's when the pain started. So I'm guessing I tore a muscle when I bent down.
Because you're old.
Shut up.
I never had sex before.
He told me he's seen his girlfriend's titties before.
I have, but I just have never had sex.
He told me he saw her vagina.
Yes, because I'm not going to say how, but...
Yeah, you've seen titties and vaginas, so there you go.
But that does not mean I've had sex.
You sick fucking pervert.
But that does not mean I've had sex.
Yes, it does if you've seen
No, it doesn't!
titties and vaginas.
No, it does not mean that I've had sex.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
I said I only do titties. I don't do vagina.
I've never seen any of them, so lucky
Good.
me.
Good for you. Do you want a fucking medal?
No, I'm just never gonna be. I'm not gonna be scarred for life.
Oh, yeah, as Ryan said, congratulations.
We're all very, very impressed.
Yeah, Zach. Ooh, I'm very impressed.
Call the state of emergency. This is top shit news.
Yes, it is.
I'm never gonna be scarred for life seeing those stick things.
Right, when you told me you got a girlfriend and you hit her from the back.
Oh yeah, Josh, I do have a girlfriend.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah? What's her name?
Fuck and you.
What?
Fuck you.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's just get off this topic now.
Yesterday on Instagram, some weird person started texting me, and they had a girl's name, and said, "Why can't you just send a picture?" No, she said, "Hi, how are you?" And I said, "Good." And she goes, "Can you send me your picture?" So I sent her a picture of a train.
Ha!
And then she says, and then I said, "I like trains. You like?" And then she says, "That's nice, but I was meaning your picture." That is my picture. I took that picture. I like trains, don't you?
And then
she
what'd you
writes,
say next?
"What? Do I have to block you?"
Wait, hold on. The person said that?
Yeah.
Just say yes.
I said, "Okay."
I'm not allowed to send my picture. Why, honey? Because I got gingivitis.
Kind of like a horseshoe curve right here.
What?
I'm going around kind of like a horseshoe curve. Yeah, I'll get a little closer so I can hear the squealing of the wheels. What?
You're getting whatever kinky means. You're getting kinky.
What happened?
You're getting kinky.
You said you were talking to yourself or somebody or whatever. I heard you say, "Let me lean in, let me hear that squealing," and I said somebody's getting a little kinky already.
Shut up. No, if you will just excuse me, I have a call to make. I gotta call my mom. Alright, guys, I'm gonna mute the microphone for just a second while I talk to my mom. I'll be right back.
Hey. Hey. Why are you gonna call your mom and say, "Mom, I saw vagina and titties"?
Why do you have to mute? No, be like, why do you have to mute?
He's live on YouTube.
Be like, why do you?
I just said he's live on YouTube.
Cute as he says hello. That's cute.
Yes, it is.
They're saying whatever pops in your mind. Hello, Mom. I got gingivitis for days and shit.
Did he die?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull up his YouTube live stream and start saying stuff in the comments.
Do it. Live right now. Do it. He's been live for the past 2 hours.
2 hours?
Uh-huh. How's this for fun? He wanted to go live on YouTube and read for hours. Read for hours. He was reading shit for an hour and a half. Because he has AIDS.
He wants to sit there and listen about history class.
Well, in my defense, he was talking about trains. In my defense, he was talking about trains, so that's what kept me in it.
Where are we Guilty, guilty, guilty. Oh,
Josh, are you still with us?
I think we jot down.
Ew. Hey.
Hemorrhoids now.
I got hemorrhoids now. Is that where you're going? You got hemorrhoids now. I have hemorrhoids now. Ow! My hemorrhoids.
I gotta go take care of my hemorrhoids now. Bleeding out the ass.
I think each has hemorrhoids.
Huh?
One time eating dinner, it was after DJ had to go to that doctor where they shove a camera up your ass. And then at dinner, they were talking that they got a letter back in the mail or something. Dad was talking to that about you have hemorrhoids, and then I started laughing. And then I said, "Wait, you're serious?" I just heard that from a YouTube video. I thought you were kidding. What's the hemorrhoids are where you have pain, right? And they said, "Well,
Veins,
no, it's just veins in your ass."
Veins in your ass, sticking out your ass, and fucking bleeding on the ass. That's what hemorrhoids are.
That's what I said, but then they corrected and said, no, hemorrhoids could be veins in your ass, but no bleeding, no pain, no nothing. Speaking of hemorrhoids.
Right there.
No. I don't have hemorrhoids. I got a passing kidney stones.
Then explain the YouTube video of people grabbing their butt and going, ow, my hemorrhoids.
I only seen it on SNL. That's where I learned it from.
I have hemorrhoids now. Yeah, SNL. The education. Uh-huh. Who needs school? Just go on there and just you get all your education from there. You learn about hemorrhoids.
Alright, guys, I'm back. We're just going to wait for Zach to get back really quickly. Hold on, let me just check and see who's all commenting so far. Yes, it was. Yes, they were talking. Yes, it was talking about Penn C in the what's it called? In the thing. Chrissy, come here, baby. Come here, baby. Come here, over here. Come here, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, Chrissy. Oh, crispy. Crispy macaroni. Hello, baby. Chrissy. Toby. Toby, come here. Chrissy. Toby. 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 Come. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Come here, Toby. Toby, are you serious, dog? Toby. 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 Chrissy, go over there and get Toby. Toby. Alright, fine. Whatever. Don't come. Whatever. Chrissy. Come here, baby. Come on up. Come on up, baby. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Come here, Chrissy. Come here. Come here, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, Chrissy. I gotta get my mouse, baby. Hold on. Guessing the boys went out there to do something. I don't know. Carissy. Crispy my cream. Crispy creamage. Crispy creamage. Zach! Hope they're coming. Oh my gosh, what are those boys doing? Carissy. Chrissy, come here. Come. Come. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Come here. Oh, come over here, baby. Yes, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, Carissy. Oh, Carissy, my cream. Chrissy, give me kisses. Give me kisses. Give me kisses. There you go. Give me kisses. Oh, they're coming back, I think. Zach! Zach! Oh my gosh, they're ignoring me. Is that Chrissy? Guys, they're ignoring me. Hey! I don't think they can hear me, guys. Is my microphone even... I wonder if it's even muted still. Nope, it's unmuted. Zach! Chrissy. Baby. Oh, 11Z is on its way south. At 11:45. Zach! Where have you been? Huh? You are who the what? You are who the what?
I have hemorrhoids now.
You have hemorrhoids now? Oh
Yeah.
gosh. I do not need to know that. Alright guys, now they're back and they're being goofy. Alright, now they're being goofy, but we're getting back to the action now, guys.
Oh, like their weapon was?
We're getting back to the train action.
Oh my god!
Oh, I'm controlling the wrong train.
Oh boy.
What is so funny?
Nothing.
Tell me.
No.
Yes. Tell me.
I can't.
Why?
I can't stop. I can't. I got a headache.
You got a headache now? Lovely.
You said they're being goofy, but back to the action, and then I went, oh, like that. I can't even remember what I said. I can't even remember exactly what I said. Oh, you said, okay, they're being goofy. Back to the action, and I said, Oh, like you have to go back on your live stream.
I am back on the live stream. Zach, I am back on the live stream.
No, I don't remember exactly what it said, so I'm trying to tell you. You have to go back on the live stream and hear it because I can't really remember exactly the same words I said.
What are you
You found it? Ryan found it.
What happened?
He found it.
What did you say?
What did I say? You were telling your live stream they're being goofy, but back to the action, and then I said something smart at it. Smart ass.
Wait, what happened now? What happened?
Ryan back from when I came back and said I have memory now. Josh.
What?
You know, a few minutes ago, you were shouting my name, and I was coming back from the bathroom, and I said, I have memory now, and you said, oh my god, I don't need to know this.
Yeah.
And then right after that, you said back to your live, went back to your live stream and said, okay, they're back, they're being goofy, but back to the action.
Okay.
Remember that?
Yes.
And right after you said that, I said, oh, like whoever it was.
Oh my gosh, Zach.
Alright, guys, back to the action. Oh, like whoever it was.
Zach, shut up. Shut up.
Screen record that shit had to be. Or no, wait. Oh, I have to. No, wait. Like whoever it was.
Shut up.
What's funny?
No, it's not.
Yeah, did it.
No, it's not. Where are the dogs? Oh, there they are. Chrissy! Come here, baby. Chrissy, come here. Chrissy, come. Come here, baby. Chrissy! Come here.
You said
I do not need to know that. Alright, now they're being goofy, but we're getting back to the action now, guys. Don't die, Zach.
What?
You're dying of laughter. Don't die.
But it was funny. That's how funny it was.
What? It's so funny that you want to die of laughter? Oh my god, Zach, just stop playing it. It's getting annoying.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. To me, it is.
Why? What's wrong with you? Oh my God.
You have hemorrhoids now? I do not need to know that. Alright, now they're being goofy. We're getting back to the action now, guys. Back to the Trainz.
You what?
I just sent it.
Searching cat O O I R R F F O O L L L L L L K K space K S S J I O O U Y T T H H R E P R R N N N search Norfolk Southern Pocahontas, Norfolk Southern Main Line. Norfolk Southern, Manassas area, Norfolk Southern. Museum in Norfolk Southern, Norfolk County, New York. 0 listening. Stop/ready.
I want to get that. Josh,
What?
hi.
Hi.
Do you have a vegetable?
Do I have what? Do I have what?
Do you have hemorrhoids too?
No.
Why?
'Cause I don't have hemorrhoids.
Why?
Why would you think that?
I'm not thinking, I'm just asking.
Why would you ask a question like that?
Because I can.
No, you can't.
Well, I just did,
Zach has hemorrhoids.
Hemorrhoids!
Shut up, Zach.
Messenger home. Apps with messenger.
I have hemorrhoids now.
You. The toilet on TikTok. Button. Daddy red heart. Smiling pile of poo. Pervert. Voiceover off.
Dang, there's a bunch of crossings right here.
Oh, there isn't there.
There is. There are like 5 different crossings back to back.
Scott Mernon. Mark Van Tyler Scott Mernon. Scott Mernon. 52 minutes ago. Members of Csx Albany Division sightings. More options. Nice day to watch a Tier IBST 70A zooming by on the CSX. Winterport, New York. Voiceover off.
CSX.
CSX.
Shut up, Zach. It's
Why?
CSX.
CSX.
That's right, CSX.
CSX.
No!
Ow!
You're haha. That's what you get, bitch.
What?
That is what you get, bitch.
What? Nothing happened.
You just hurt yourself.
No, I didn't.
Yes.
No.
Oh my god.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not.
I got the proof right here.
Yes,
What?
you did.
Does anybody like to say ow just for once?
I got the proof right here. I'm gonna play.
I just say ow because I can, not because I am hurt or anything. How is that proof? You'll only hear me say ow on there. You won't see me get hurt or anything.
Let's see.
You won't hear me go ow. Because I can say ow if I want to.
CSX. Shut up, Zach. It's CSX.
CSX.
That's right, CSX.
Oh, here's where you CSX. CSX. CSX.
All right. Shut up.
What? I really heard it out. It was a proof that I got
Why are you laughing so much?
Because I can.
No, you can't.
Why?
Will you stop playing that?
I'm not.
Well, stop repeating it, whoever's playing it. It's getting annoying.
You're being annoying.
I am not. I'm just sitting here trying to have a stream, and you are being a bitch.
No, I'm not. I'm not even talking to you.
Both of you are being bitches.
No, I'm not. I'm talking to Ryan and we're laughing.
I just came in here.
Me and Ryan are just talking to each other laughing.
Yeah, okay.
I just came in here, so don't bitch.
Oh, I'm sorry. When you call me, I'm supposed to sit here and be quiet.
Shut up.
Yes, God.
Because that's so far what you're making it sound like.
Stop.
Yes, God.
Stop.
See, this is out. So basically, we have to sit here and be quiet while he's on the phone.
Stop. What is so funny?
I can't say stop.
This is none of your concern because you're a bitch and didn't want fun.
Me.
He is the one doing the programs. It does.
Toby. Hang on, guys. I have a call coming in.
Stay.
Hold on a second. Let me take this call.
Stay.
We
Who's the bitch now?
Central NHL whatever said. I can't read it.
Why?
Because I said he said, and you're over here.
What?
What did he say?
I don't know. I'm waiting for you to say it. What?
Yeah. And this person said, oh, that's YouTube's. This dude said
He only got one
pick up
comment.
on Discord. Pick up on Discord. Nope, you did.
Hello.
Um,
Can you hear me?
What? I'm talking to Ryan.
Oh boy, what you giggling at now? I heard you guys talking about CSX.
Huh?
Why do you sound so
I
bad?
heard you guys talking about CSX.
Okay. Well, well, before I started running these trains, Apollo, I decided to do a little history on them.
I know, I was watching.
So now I'm just running the trains now for a little bit until I'm ready to end the stream. Oh shoot, nickel plate's catching right up.
I don't know if maybe if you wanted to play some Roblox.
Well, let me finish up this stream and then I'll play Roblox with you.
No, I meant like I didn't know if you wanted to maybe stream Roblox.
No, I'm gonna be all worn out from this stream here in a minute. So I'm gonna be all worn out from streaming. So maybe we'll do it. We'll do a stream at some point together. Don't worry.
All right. Oh my god, guys, it's the Nickel Plate Road. Why does that Union Pacific have a K5LA?
I don't know.
It should have like a truck horn.
Listen, not all of the F units had those kind of horns.
I know, but like...
Or not all the Fs and Es had that kind of horn.
But I'm pretty sure the Union Pacific ones did.
I don't know.
Well, I do.
Oh shoot! Oh shoot! I just actually had my leg.
I'm pretty sure you're just about to crash into your train.
No, I have them all going the same speed. No, they're all actually going the same speed.
That's a little too close for comfort for me. Why is Zach taking a nap?
Why is what?
Zach taking a nap.
Hold on.
I heard somebody snore.
Oh, Zach hung up. That was probably me.
No, it sounded like...
Yeah, that was me.
Oh.
You gotta remember, I have sleep apnea, remember?
I don't know what that is.
It's hard to explain. Alright, I think we're gonna end it here, I guess, guys. So,
yeah, guys.
So thank you all for watching.
Comment, like, and subscribe.
Yes, I was about to say that. You stole my line, but okay.
And love you guys.
So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like. Let me know what you thought down in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Hit that notification bell to be notified whenever I post or go live. And I will talk to you all later. Bye now.
Bye. Love you.